Hello, my name is Kate, and this is my module one for me and action research. So, a couple things about me: mom and wife. Where I'm from Brooklyn, New York, originally, and currently live in Union Beach, New Jersey. We love it here. Like having a little bit more space. We are huge Met fans. All of us love baseball, except for maybe my little guy, who every once in a while says "Go Yankees" to kind of get us all riled up. But the rest of us love the Mets. Me personally, love spending time with my family, reading. Books are a bit of a problem, but it's okay. I buy them, I read them, and almost obsessively. I like puzzles, planners, and pretty stickers. And also supporting my children's various endeavors. So my big guy plays baseball, basketball, and also track. And so we're constantly running him back and forth to things. My little guy plays chess, and he's also in like ninja classes because he thinks that he could be a YouTube ninja star someday. So. Not necessarily totally encouraging that, but also, if he wants to do some physical activity, I'm down with it. Me personally, I finished uh, Brooklyn College with a BA in journalism in 2005. And my MA in social studies 7 to 12 in 2012. So I had a career switch in there where I was working in public service and then I was working for a nonprofit. But in my stint in public service, when I would work with our interns, that was kind of where I was at my happiest. So I was like, I'm going to go work with a bunch of high school kids. I prefer it that way. And then I started Fort Hayes in the non-degree program, finished that to discover I had two more classes before I can be certified in New Jersey. So I was like, yeah, I might as well take four more and finish my master's. So that's where I am. A couple of things about my career. I started teaching at St. Edmund Prep and I spent most of my career there. I was there for about 12 years. But when we moved to New Jersey, I decided to move on. But at St. Edmund Prep, I was the IB Diploma Program Coordinator, Department Chair, Testing Coordinator, as well as a Social Studies teacher. When I moved on, couldn't find a position in a building right away, so I worked for virtual school, Hudson Global Scholars, as well as Fusion Academy. But then this year found a position in Middletown here in New Jersey as the alternate school intervention program teacher or in school suspension teacher. So I got a lot going on here in terms of restorative practices and social emotional learning. And it's pretty cool position. In addition to that, I'm also a writer and contractor for mostly lesson design, curriculum writing, and currently am in the height of examining for the International Baccalaureate. So the papers written for the IB program in the beginning of May get sent to a scanner. The scanners then send those papers all over the world, and I'm one of the people reading them. And, a lot of chaos at this moment, but getting there. So, what is action research? Let me see if I can move me over here. There we go. So, action research is investigating an issue in order to solve a problem. Teacher is the one who is in charge of this. They're the ones conducting the research. It is very teacher centered from what I read in these articles and very classroom centered. So that was what I kind of liked about it, the idea that, it is heavily based on exactly what the teacher needs to look for. Within the articles, this term progress in professionalization came out, right? So this idea of being a more professional teacher. But also this idea of more informed assessments and a revitalization of the learning community. four types of research. I focused a lot on the individual one and collaborative one just because I thought that that was the most centered on the specific teachers and specific classes. However, action research can also be school wide and district wide, which I think can be really helpful to our communities. Um, the goal of action research, developing areas of growth, creating authentic learning experiences, fostering a culture of inquiry, making sure that we are kind of in a constant state of learning ourselves. And the steps are similar to what we would see in a regular kind of research project, right? We're identifying the problem, we're devising a plan, we're acting, we're collecting data, we're analyzing that data, we're reflecting on our research and then sharing it, right? So it is a very similar process to a regular research project. However, it's a lot less controlled. And that's what I see over here, right? When I was thinking about this, right? When we're looking at action research, these are happening in our classrooms. Teachers, principals are doing it, and they're doing it on their students. Whereas a traditional research project, we're looking at professors, we're looking at scholars, we're considering control groups, and we're considering controlled environments. And I kind of thought about that like in this situation, right? The constantly changing environment means that the results of the research could be changing as well, right? Our ducks aren't always in a row. Sometimes the ducks are all over the place. And that's where my little meme came in, right? I don't even know where my ducks are sometimes. And especially when we're looking at, June in a school building, right? And if school is still going on. I know some of you might be done already. I'm still here for another 2 weeks. But, teachers like more work. What? A lot of people equals a lot of analysis, and I don't have the time for this, right? That would be the way that a lot of people are going to be looking at this. And let's be honest, right now, people are frustrated in education, right? There's some general dissatisfaction. Can that general dissatisfaction skew results, right? That's where my head kind of went, right? So many teachers are unhappy or frustrated, or they think that there's already too much oversight. So by asking them to do something like this, are we just kind of starting the pot more? However, one of the things I did notice in this research is that action research has the ability to improve teaching, right? Um, it introduces us to new methods, helps us to engage with others, uh, allows us to learn more about research, right? Which is something that honestly, besides in these classes, and it's not like we're able to do too much, and enables changes that improve student experience. It gives us moments to reflect, right? So, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing that I could be doing better? And also on our values. Maybe by looking at our research, we can see how we are actually viewing our classes. It pushes teachers and students out of their comfort zone sometimes, and can also allow teachers to adopt and modify these methods. My personal feelings, when thinking about being a teacher and being assigned an action research project, I'm like, okay, well, I think that the intention is there. I always view professional development as well intentioned. But it's also like, oh gosh, do I really need more? Do I need more to do? But this assignment made me feel a little bit better about it. Um, if given time, this can be really helpful because it's centered on my specific classroom. It'll better inform student learning. And something that I'm always trying to do is better inform my student learning, and better hone my practice. I think that that's important. And I think that most teachers feel that way. Um, but time has to be given because otherwise, teachers going to freak out. There's a clear connection to the CLOs within this within action research in general, right? The CLOs are heavily focused on improvement in processes. Right there, I mean, action research is completely based on that self-evaluation and better evaluation practices, equitable practices, and making sure that we are recognizing bias and recognizing our own flaws, meaningful assessments, and making sure that we are actually assessing student learning, and collaboration. Overall, there's a clear connection here between action research and what we're trying to do within our program. And by initiating well organized and meaningful action research, we'll be able to improve our learning. It's relevant because I think it's important to encourage teachers to consider their own methodology and evaluate their own classrooms, right? If students are struggling, there's got to be a reason why. What is it that what can we be doing better to help our students, right? Of course, the onus isn't all on teachers, but a lot of it is, and we have to be able to consider what we're doing to help our students better. And really, this inspired me to consider better ways to help teachers help themselves. Um, there are a lot of times within this class and in professional developments where I'm like reading an article, I'm like, okay, well, some of this applies to me, but a lot of it doesn't. This type of research allows us to think about things that are directly applied to our students, and directly applied to our communities. So I think it could be really great, really a great way for administrations to introduce this type of professional development to their teachers. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much, and look forward to learning with you guys.